Hi guys, how are you? Good morning, good morning, good morning. I rarely go on this early. You guys know that. Like, I'm still in the days, I'm still tired. But we've got the news that came in about Prince Andrew. And it's a joke. It's a joke, people. It's a joke. Okay, so they just announced that Prince Andrew has come to a settlement with Virginia Giuffre for an undisclosed amount. I, I, let me get through the for undisclosed amount. He also will be making a substantial donation to her charity, which is a charity in support of victims' rights. I can't make this up, people. I can't make it up. Okay. He also says that he regrets his association with Jeffrey Epstein and commends the bravery of Miss Giuffre and other survivors for standing up for themselves. He pledges to demonstrate his regret and plans to support the fight against evil. I wonder if I could say this word, trafficking, by supporting its victims. So this was all done yesterday in New York, because remember, he was sued for civil sex claim filed in New York for sleeping with an underage minor. Okay, now that's the legal thing that's going on, right? Now let's break it down in layman's terms. Mommy, Queenie Elizabeth, I'm in trouble. And so remember we heard these rumors that she was going to pay for the settlement? Do you guys remember that? Does this mean that you can do whatever you want as long as you have the money to pay yourself to get out of it? And didn't she take a settlement previously from Jeffrey Epstein? What does this say to the victims? People like you, Virginia, are pathetic. People like you are worried about their wallets. Damn what happens to the other victims. Damn what happens to other women that truly are victims of trafficking. People like Virginia make me sick to my stomach. People like Virginia make it possible for dirty old men like Epstein, like Prince Andrew to get away with things like this. This is a disgrace. Not only that, okay, so I'm being told that the Queen has her own private money. What is it? What is this coming to? You'll do anything to save your precious Andrew? And the people in England have no control over it. This is just how it's going to be. All of those cockamamie titles that they stripped from him, that doesn't do anything. It does not send a signal out to the world that this is not unacceptable behavior. Virginia, you're pathetic. There are real victims out there that really are victims of trafficking, underage victims, and you make it impossible for them to come out, speak up for themselves, or do anything because you're worried about your damn wallet. You're what's wrong with this country today. You're what's wrong with the world. Men with money think that they could take advantage of anybody they want. What kind of world do we live in? Bill Cosby's roaming around free? I went off the other day on a girl who's that was shaming victims. Why now? Why you wait so long? Listen. I'm thinking about those victims. I don't give a damn about spoiled Andrew. I don't give a damn about the queen that has no spine, that doesn't want her son to pay the price for the things that he did. I'm not give a damn about money hungry Virginia. What about the victims? What about the victims? It's just, Virginia, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And then you get a stipend, an undisclosed amount, and then he donates to your charity more money that you're not going to do anything with but go buy you a yacht. What about the victims? Will they ever see justice? Will they ever see justice? Let me bring up Perry. Perry, this is a joke.
Well, I mean, Perry told you so. Perry told everybody from day one, when I seen this shit hit the thing, I knew it was a money grab, people. I just knew that's what it was. Now, I'm not saying she don't deserve the money, but to me, I could be wrong because, it takes it made me think that you as a participant, because now you a willing worker, right? You got paid for your services probably back then. Now you got paid for it now, but that's fine. I mean, if that's what you want, you like, so really for the other victims and stuff out there, I take her off that list. And for him to come back, undisclosed amount of money, right? And then come back and act like he's some damn savior, okay? I'm going to donate to your charity, right? Against evil, sex trafficking. Now, what
you're not supposed to say the word, but go ahead.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You just freed yourself up from going to jail to enjoying the party, okay? The party that he's used to. I'm telling you, like, this is so ridiculous. Now it's like arresting a criminal, but you give him a choice, jail, or you got a choice. We'll give you a choice to fight crime. Now he want to fight the things he support. Let's keep it real. And trust me, I'm telling you, they don't waste it all poor Freddie damn money.
Yeah.
On this case. Go ahead.
What do you say to the people that said Virginia did her best? He was never going to go to jail. He was never going to pay for what he did. Okay. This is the best that she could do.
Okay. Now, after that spiel, I'll just say this. I told you she was going to take the money, and Perry told you this. Perry would have took the damn money too.
What?
So look, let's not get it twisted. Okay. Look, I'm saying I would have took the money. We ain't had to make a big thing out of it. We ain't had to go to all the media sites to talk about it. Hey, you know what? At this point, if she wanted to do something, maybe if it was 20 years ago, she could have did something 10 years, maybe. But I'm saying, like you said, this is not her first settlement, right? So she sort of know how it go. Him going to jail is not going to change her trauma that she had, but that money can give her a good lifestyle. Maybe. I'm just saying for me, maybe my morals are very low.
People are saying in the audience, she had no choice. It was impossible. This was her only out. What? I need you guys to call in that feels that she did the best that she can do. I need you guys. Listen, this sends a message. Even if she didn't win anything, I'm going to take his money.
Look, yeah. I mean, that's how it sort of goes.
I don't get that.
I mean, I say that. I mean, for the people saying that she don't have a choice, she had a choice to fight for her rights
Yep.
That's why she should have. That's why she went to court in the first place, right? To prosecute him. You know,
To
it's not
right
a
or
guarantee
wrong,
you're gonna
right.
win, but she had the chance to fight for her rights, right? For justice, fight for justice. I say that, but she chose to just take the cash instead. So was it really about justice, or was it
The
about?
minute she took the money, any justice that she was standing up for went out the window. It went out the window.
And
I
really, in a
don't care
sense,
if he didn't step a foot into jail. You put him on trial, you hold him accountable, and you let the world know what he did. I'm going to take a phone call really quick. Hey, Bonji.
Hey, Sharrell. Hey, Perry.
hey, good morning.
So what are your stance? Do you think she did the best she could do?
Here's the thing. We never want to blame the victim, because for them to come, to actually come to the law and say this happened to me, I believe the victim until you prove me wrong. I'll put that aside. So I'm not victim bashing. I believe her. However, for her to have even gotten this potential trial in New York, her lawyers showed evidence and burden of proof that this man should be sued in New York. They tried so many times to get it dismissed, but the judge kept saying, no, the grounds that you're saying are not acceptable. And then talking about the settlement, people that say the queen has her own money, stop. First of all, this is a monarchy. She inherited money that was pillaged on our backs in many areas of the world. So the money that is paying for this man that I can now call a predator is money that they never worked for. He has been hiding behind her skirts, behind palace walls, and pretending like, oh my goodness, she's suing me. And you guys know how the legal system works. They've probably been negotiating this back and forth since the last time the judge said that they were going to proceed with the lawsuit. It makes it so hard for us as a society to say to young men and young women, please say something so something can be done about your abuse and people taking advantage of you and predators coming against you. Because people will say, oh well, maybe they just want money, and they will talk about this case when they're saying that.
It makes me want to cry.
Me too.
Because she did take a plea also from Epstein, supposedly from an undisclosed amount. Amanda's saying for $5 million.
She did.
What sex trafficking does to an individual, it scars you for life. Your world is never the same.
No.
When you take any money from the predator, you're satisfying your wallet and what you went through. But there are thousands of other victims out there. They're fighting like hell for themselves.
And doesn't that, right?
Cry. Let me take another call before I go
on. Isn't that almost like it? At the same time, she took the money, and Perry knew she would take the money. I knew that from just straight one, right? And Perry probably would have took the money, but Perry wouldn't have had a charity acting like I'm trying to save victims. I think saving victims would have been more for her to fight the fight than to settle. And it's not her first rodeo with that.
Yeah.
And that's a slap in the face too, Perry, because all of a sudden you are now concerned about victims Give me a break.
Right.
And then he's gonna donate money to her charity. Inspiration, please help me out of this before I lose my cool. What's
I
your
can't
thought?
help you, but I lose a little cool for you. Listen, this is trash. She came out and said, I'm doing this for all the victims. And I'm doing this because the other people don't have the means because she already got money once already, right? Now, I'm not trying to victim shame or anything before anybody starts jumping up down my throat, but let's look at the facts. The
We're not
facts of the
victim
matter,
shaming, we're shaming her, but go ahead.
except, hello. So, well, these are the facts. She already has done the majority of the heavy lifting. Do you remember how long it's taken her before the U.S. court would even hear this?
Yeah.
She had to go through a whole lot for him to be forced to stand trial here in the U.S. So, baby girl, you've already won. And regardless of the outcome at the end of the day, at least we would potentially get some further information and potentially be able to see what really went down. Now I have to side eye you. I have to question the whole thing, everything surrounding this whole case, all the players. The last trial was a big dud. The first one never went off. Like, I mean, people, we have to get at some point get to the point where we understand we're never going to know what these people do. And I usually am hey, love and light, let's do everything. We're not going to know what these people are going to do. And I don't trust her. She took the money and she ran. I have no respect for this woman at all anymore. And I'm side-eyeing whether or not she's telling the truth.
Listen to this. This kind of thing goes on. There's another Epstein out there somewhere.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
She could expose how the inner operations work. How does
Uh-huh.
all this go down? How do these high, powerful men, you are a prince, get away with doing this? She could expose so much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Sharrell, I mean, for one, we know it's men still out there like that because she just let one go.
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
I do believe this, no, just for the fact, I do believe this happened to her. But I'm just saying at the same time, she had a chance for justice and then just gave it all away. And it just don't say much to your charity when you telling people, okay, I'm trying to help the victims of all this bad things that's happening to you. But if you get this money, it'll make you feel a whole lot better. It's just the wrong message for me.
It's the wrong message. I would have had more respect for her if she would have did a march in protest. Something. But you took millions of dollars.
Right, to your own charity. See, I thought at first he was putting it into somebody else's charity, and now it's your own charity. Come on, you're running the same game everybody else runs, sister. You just learn how to play it.
Yeah.
So you're getting paid.
Exactly. Let's talk about what does this mean for the Queen? What does this mean for him, his reputation in England? If anybody's from England in the chat, please call. I know it's a big thing over there. Okay,
Nothing.
so he stripped of his titles, but I don't think he learned a lesson.
And then ask yourself this question: how long is he gonna be stripped of the titles?
Right, that was my first thought, Perry. That was my first thought.
Going to court, right? He gonna have his freaky ass back in that palace or castle or whatever the hell it is over there, and he gonna be getting his freak on again. These people never stop.
Here's the thing,
in my opinion.
With how high profile this case was, and from just the second trial, you can tell how complex the trafficking that was going on of so many children. I doubt that this is probably the only opportunity that this man has done this to other people. So because so many names were being raised in the second trial, all of us were waiting to see, because some of these people are prominent here in our country. We're waiting to see, okay, who else is engaged in this in this activity, and how will that help other victims come forward? And then talking about the Queen, Sharrell, this week I read a story, I think it was on BBC or Mail and Guardian. last week after the Queen said that when she passes on, she wants Prince Charles,
Camilla.
Andrew's brother, Camilla, to become Queen Consort. This week, there's a story that says that Prince Charles would love it if Prince Andrew moved away from Windsor. What does moving away from Windsor mean? It means he goes off somewhere with his millions from the taxpayers and continues to live his lavish lifestyle
Yep.
with his ex-wife that lives with him in the same house.
You're talking about
paid for.
Fergie?
So that Fergie has lived with him since she left the US. Remember that scandal that happened with her here in the US? She moved in with him. The two of them have been living behind palace walls in Windsor since she stopped living in the US.
That part.
Let me take another call.
Prince
Curves, are we shaming the victim?
Yeah, hi, Sharrell. Hi, Perry. Are we
Hey,
shaming
what's up?
the
What's
victim?
up? Good morning.
Which victim? Andrew?
Virginia.
Virginia? No, we're not shaming her. We don't have to shame her. She went through what she went through. But isn't the second time? Sorry. Isn't this the second time she took money from him?
Yeah.
Didn't she get paid off the first time?
Yep.
From
So
Epstein,
she's
I
kind
think.
of like
Epstein.
the lady from the Cosbys, huh? The Cosby lady got paid off and came back for some more.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah.
So
I mean,
could all of this be like a smash and grab? I mean, I know they were victimized, but if you really want justice, I mean, is you getting sex trafficked really worth $5 million to you? Is it going to pay for the mental stuff you need? Is it going to pay for your, you know what I'm saying? Like, is it
Yeah.
really worth it?
do you think, Curves, that by accepting this money, it makes it harder for true sex trafficking victims to come forward?
I think that, no, I still think people are entitled to tell their experience and their truth. They can do that.
No,
They
will
just
they
have
do
to get
that?
it in front of the right ears. She got it in front of the right ears the first time to get to a point of payoff, which she felt did something for her. And now this time she got it in front of the right people again to get some type of reparation for herself. Like if she's cool with it, we can't knock it. Is she complaining?
I mean, Perry, you said you would take the money too. Why?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, now, okay, that's in a totally different thing. If I'm going back to being a female and I felt like it was so devastating to me, and it's a choice. You can either take a settlement or you can fight for your rights. But if you're gonna take the settlement, you could have took the settlement and moved on.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't go out and start a charity if I know that I was gonna back out and take the cash. I would have been selfish all by Perry's damn self, okay? I would have did that by myself. But I just think that for me, like it harms women. It keep women from coming out when these things happen. Now, not on the case if the person who, bothers you or whatever, if they're broke, you don't see no incentive. If you have more people getting prosecuted for these crimes, you might have more faith in the system that you can get justice.
Huh.
If the person was rich, yeah, you might say, well, yeah, it could help that person because they might can get some money. But most people aren't rich that's doing these things neither. So I think it could set people, maybe women, back from coming out with it. Just my opinion. I don't know.
Curve, Bonji, did you guys have anything else to say? I'm going to take some
I
more
think
calls.
that Perry hit the nail on the head. The real deterrent from women coming forward is the lack of the system protecting them and working in their favor. Whether or not a guy has bajillions or whether or not he's broke, if he harmed you, then you should be able to go to the police or whoever and be like, look, and get some, get them to do something. I think that's the real problem, is that the police half time don't look, or their investigation goes cold, or it's not in their best interest to keep on looking for it. So, but I think that women or whoever's harmed, I think it's the police are the biggest deterrent. I don't think it has anything to do with other ladies getting money. I think they see these stories about how other people get treated and what it takes to get a case, and it shouldn't be that hard. You know what I mean? If you got proof, if you have a stained dress like Monica Lewinsky, and they take it to the DNA lab and the CIS, and not everybody gets that even. But even in that case, they were totally against Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it has to do with the authorities in that case. Probably is the main deterrent. I don't know, but this is a really thick subject again, Sharrell. You and this SA stuff, man.
I'm just trying, I don't know. I always side with the victims, and she really made it hard.
So were
Thank you
you on
guys
her
for
side?
calling.
You were
Can
on
I
her
say
side.
something?
Yeah,
Um,
go ahead,
I
Bonji.
and one thing I believe is, nationwide in all our 50 states, there should not be a statute of limitations on S crimes on minors, or on S crimes on women, or people that are subjected to trafficking, because the laws vary from state to state.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. They should make it easier for victims and get the CSI stuff to work better in their favor and stuff, because I mean sometimes the proof is right there. It's right there.
All right, guys. Even though it's early, I never come on this early. I still got a long line. Thank you, Bonji. Thank you, Kurz, for
Hey, thanks,
calling
No
in. I
ladies.
worries.
appreciate.
Thanks,
Bye,
guys.
guys.
Hey,
Bye.
Sharrell, can I just address this one thing real
Yeah.
fast, maybe? Somebody in the chat has said, Perry, do you mean that poor people aren't settled with a price? I'm not sure what that question is, but I would say this. I mean, what I was trying to say is this. If a poor person harm you, no settlement amount is going to justify what happened to you unless this person was truly rich or something. Like the money she's getting, somebody might feel like, that was justification to take the money. But I think what she did don't really help the people who don't have that same opportunity.
Yeah. I don't think people understand what happens to you when you're violated. I don't know. Let me take some more. Hi, Susie. How are you?
Hey,
Yes,
sister.
hello, y'all. Sure, I love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
I'm just taken back by how everybody mad she took him to the fucking bank. Excuse me for cursing.
I'm mad. You're not mad?
I'm not mad because first of all, he played and ran, he lied, he insulted, he didn't have no remorse.
None.
And people keep saying she getting paid twice. If two people raped me and I couldn't nail their ass to the wall, I want individually paid too. Why should I give you 2 for 1 when you paraded me all around the world? Because they had them on islands where they couldn't get up and leave. They were secluded. They were bullied. They were manipulated, taken advantage of. So the queen is never going to turn him over. He was never going to go to jail. He never was going to see a jail cell.
Right.
So it's like anything above 0 is a plus. You know what I mean? Because now, if when they all came out, if he could have been humbled, apologized, took some type of accountability, I could have understood her giving him a break, or you know what I mean? But he went on multiple interviews. He lied. He said he didn't know her. He didn't recall her. And then when the picture came out, he had an epiphany. Oh, you know what I mean? So now when you go for my neck, knowing you raped me, knowing you trafficked me, and then you try to take away my credibility, because the thing is, even if the world don't know the truth, he knows the truth.
Let me say this, Susie. I don't mean to cut you off. What about the other victims?
They all got checks too. They just decided not to be a part of the Netflix and everything.
What does that say to victims that weren't involved with the Epstein case? Just sex trafficking, period. If you don't hold somebody accountable for it, a check doesn't help anything. What do you say to that?
When was they ever going to actually hold them accountable? Because you got to remember, even though the victims we're dealing with goes back to, I think, about the early 90s.
Yes.
It's victims that were so humiliated and, traumatized, they never even came forward. And the DA, the prosecutors, the police departments in Florida, because some of the first cases that was initiated started in Florida and was swept under the rug. If you follow the story, when it first came out and the victims wanted justice, they wanted them in jail, they would not settle for a check. The federal prosecutor went behind their
So
back.
does that send a message that as long as you pay me off, it's okay?
No, that send a message is what you did to me, I'm going to get you however I can pin you to the wall. Because a lot of rape victims cannot pin them to the wall criminally. They have to humiliate them civilly just to get any type of justice. And so if you can't get nothing, you got to settle for something.
I don't.
Because he wouldn't even accept the subpoena and the court documents at first, if you remembered. So the queen and his constituents that behind him, if she would have tried to get justice, she would have been chasing him and ruining her life for the next 5 or 10 years.
And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes it is a life mission. But how does it help? I'm going to make myself rich and damn the other people, the other victims. This is a movement.
The other victims,
this is not just about Virginia. Go ahead.
All the victims sued Epstein estate and got paid. Most of them just wanted to remain anonymous.
It doesn't make it right.
Okay, so did it make it right that it took them 15 years to even question Epstein when everybody that was high officials knew he was sex trafficking? Do you know Prince Andrew was over the sex trafficking charity for the court?
Yeah, that was crazy. But what about this? Listen, this is still going on today. You can't convince me any other way. This is still going on. It would have been nice to know how these men get away with this, how this is set up, what you drag other women through. He should have, in him not speaking, I agree with you. He probably would have never gone into a courtroom. But he would have been shamed. The spotlight would have been put on him. Look what you did.
But when they look how long the spotlight was on him saying, look what you did, and he eluded it. He did.
Let me take some more calls. Hold on. Let me take some. I want to see what people say. Hi, is it Liana? Oh, we can't hear you. You're on mute. And I had seen Corey. Wait, hold on. Hey, Corey, and let me take one more because I got a long line. Let's start with you, Denise. No, let's start with you, Corey. What's your stance on this? Because you are a victim.
I agree with what Susie Q is saying.
You do?
She would never have. Is that me?
That's you.
Oh, darn it.
Should I drop you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me replace. Go ahead. Is it Leanne? Oh, you're on mute. We can't hear you. While she works that out, go ahead, Denise.
Hi, everybody. I am in agreement with Susie 100%.
How are you in agreement with Susie?
Justice does not look the same for everybody. Me getting a settlement after 20 years of suffering silently by myself, that might look like justice for me. Maybe that's what I want. And you were asking, how does it make it good for the rest of the victims? Let's just say that this sets a precedent for any future cases that might have come out. You know, you said you want him to be shamed. I think he's being shamed. His whole family is being shamed. Look at his mom and the rest of the people. They took away his titles and whatever. He was being shamed. If this had gone to court, nothing would have come of it. Something would have gone wrong on technicality. I do not have faith in the justice system, especially when it comes to rich and powerful men. If I can take your money and get myself some healing along with the rest of my family who had to go through this with me for all those years, I will take your money because that's the only justice I will get. If somebody else went through the same thing, I am sorry. I am not going to martyr myself for everybody else. This is my pain. And if this is what is going to soothe my pain, then so be it.
Denise, you're not going to martyr yourself for somebody else. But wouldn't it be nice if you could just help other people too?
It'd be nice, but who says this world is nice? It's not a nice world.
Oh my God. Yeah. Susie Q, look what you've done.
But look at all the men that they protected that was pedophiles in Ghislaine Maxwell trial. You know how many more men could have been pinned to the wall, but the courts protected them. The judges banned their names from the testimony. They took the cameras out the courtroom. So she got a preface of what justice was going to look like in the courtroom for her. It was
For
going to
her,
be a bunch of
exactly.
men protecting other high class men.
Well,
And
now
no,
I get it.
So she
Look.
never was going to ever get justice.
no
Even
matter
inside.
how we wanna, no matter how we wanna look at it, money is always gonna come out on top.
No, I
Money
get
is
it.
gonna
I
come
get
out
that
disability.
part.
on top.
I get that part. When this first came out, Perry told y'all that she was gonna settle. She's gonna take the money, and Perry said, "I would have took the money too." After 20 years, I would have took the money.
Harry, no more third person.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
He's
But what I'm
talking in
saying is
third
too
person again.
is that but I think it set another different kind of precedent that if this happened to you from a rich person, that they would never do time. It might just cost them a couple dollars out of their wealth. But most people that this stuff happened to don't have those kind of dollars. And if she was going to be that kind of person, don't act like you're a martyr for all these other people. You're looking out for your damn self. And let's keep it. And nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with her looking out for herself. I'm not saying it is, people, but don't act like you got a charity and you're going to fight the right. She knew she was taking this money months ago.
I mean, but
if a
two
poor
things can be
person,
true at the same time. She
but if a
can
poor,
generally. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Denise.
it's okay. Sorry. If a poorer person had, in my opinion, attacked her and done all these egregious things to her back then, there wouldn't have been a fear for her to report it when it happened at the moment it happened. The fear would have been less, and then that would have been the justice she would have been after at that point. But after 20 years of being scared for your life and scared of speaking out and scared for the people around you, this is the kind of justice that she is gonna get. She's not gonna get a man like Prince Andrew going to jail for the next 20 years. It's not gonna happen.
At
No, but
all.
Listen, Denise, I
you know,
will say,
sometimes
and Susie Q, I see what you guys are saying, but I just feel a devastation.
It costs money to run charities and help traumatized women. And if I'm going to fund it and his ass is going to pay for it, I'm all for it.
Yep.
Because even
well,
though people say, oh, charities get grant money, they don't really get a lot of grant money and stuff, how it seems from the outside. So if she's going to fund her charities and things that she finds at heart that came out of her victimization, why shouldn't he fund it?
well, you know, and maybe you could be right like that.
You're
I'm
changing
looking at
my
it from the
opinion a little
standpoint
bit,
that
yes.
she
What would
sent
be
a
the
wrong
difference
message.
between him funding her and black people getting reparations?
True.
Well,
Well, you're changing my mind. You really are. I just
I
well, no,
mean,
no,
what
no.
would be
I
the,
can see
because
it.
we're getting reparations for the slavery. Look how many people died. Look how many people were separated. Look at how our whole culture is torn down because of the effects of slavery. And we say, give us reparations. So we're putting a price on pain and suffering. So why can't she put a price on her pain and suffering? Because what other
Well,
options does she have? Because to Perry's point, if he was poor, his ass would be in jail.
I'm
yeah.
glad you came on the stage, Susie and Denise. You guys changed my mind. What do you've been trying to talk Leanne for a minute now. What do you have to add?
Oh,
Oh,
she
we
still don't
still
have a
can't
vote
hear
yet.
you. I'm so sorry. We still can't hear you.
Ah,
Maybe the
Let's
mic
move
is
on
turned
to
off on your
Lisa. Lisa, what did
computer.
you have to say? No.
Lena cannot get her microphone on.
It's the
Yeah.
devil.
It sounded like it would have been good because this is a good conversation. That's why I have these conversations so I can get other points of views and people can talk. And Susie Q and Denise, you guys have changed my mind.
well,
I'm
they're
still
making me
heartbroken
feel.
though. Lisa, what's your opinion on this?
How you doing, Cheryl? I'm gonna tell you like this. I watched all the documentaries up on it, and my heart do go out to the victim because I have been a victim of assault, and it is something you just don't never get over. And I promise you, I mean, for this right here, I'm gonna just tell you the truth how I feel about this because I remember when it first came out, he kept saying, "I don't know her." The only thing that put it up there was that she had a picture with him. She had a picture. That's the only thing that put him with him. She had a picture. And he like, oh, okay then. Because that picture would have said it out because she had several pictures with him. But she didn't never have no picture of him assaulting her. He just said, well, I know him. That could be anybody. I can take a picture with you and Perry. You and Perry might not know me. I might just be fan of y'all, but y'all show. Then I mean you know me though. And that's what I say. That's like him. I don't. It's something about her because I heard her talk. It's something about her. I just don't believe her all the way. I just don't.
I
Especially
just
this.
You
feel
don't
like
believe her.
I don't
I feel
believe her
like
all
she's
this
a
because I have seen
strong
her talk on
person.
several. I have seen her talk on several levels and stuff. And like I said, I have put it together. I have put it together. Now I don't feel sorry for really really none of those men because you put yourself in this position.
Boom.
When
There it
you
go right
have
Oh
there.
two
my God,
presidents,
you've got my
when you have
heart
two U.S.
racing.
presidents, when you have two U.S. presidents, and you got ambassadors, and you got the Queen's son, and I say this right here, and I don't mean no, I don't want to harm come to nobody. Do y'all really think they was gonna let that go to court?
At all. They
No.
wouldn't even accept the subpoena
That's
at the
something they
gate.
was not going. They was not going to do none of that mess. Let's be real with this. Let's
I
be
think people
real.
has a picture
That
what
is
victims look
England.
like
England
vulnerable
is
and weak.
American ally. England is American ally. They was going anything they power not to make this stuff happen.
Let's see what
When they
Corey
throw
can you
some money at her, they
hold,
said,
hold on one
"Shut your
second,
blood
Lisa.
mouth and go sit down somewhere, or because you gonna end up stinking." That was you gonna end up stinking, okay? You gonna end up stinking, and then the real ain't nobody really gonna care what you have to say then, okay? Because in the past that would happen. In the past, this stuff would never would have got out.
I
At all.
agree. Hold on.
How many of y'all agree with me on that? That would never got out.
Corey, what's your thoughts on it? Can you speak now?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, very good.
Okay, good. Um, I agree with Denise. I agree with Susie Q. That this is the only way she could have gotten Epstein. This is the only way she would have gotten Andrew. Because Maxwell's not gonna make it. She's not gonna make it. She
What do
is
you
not gonna
mean?
make it to trial. She's not even gonna be breathing by the end of
Oh,
3
Corey,
months.
Corey.
I bet you. I
Oh,
bet you.
Corey.
Because there's too many high-powered individuals involved. There
Yep,
could be
so it
judges
is.
involved. You already know that you can place Bill Clinton on the plane. You can place Microsoft guy on the plane. You can place the twice impeached former disgraced
Ugh.
president on that plane. There are so many ties of people that you could probably a Saudi prince maybe. There are a lot of powerful people involved. Maxwell is
But
not gonna make it because she
let me
wants to
ask you,
talk.
Denise, how do we stop this? If everybody keeps taking money, how do we stop this?
Ghislaine need to open her mouth and talk the talk because she's gonna go to jail for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to open her mouth by this
Yeah.
time. None of these guys are gonna like dirty their fingers to try and help her now because she's been convicted. She's just
Mm-hmm.
awaiting
Yeah.
sentencing,
And
right?
she have been convicted, baby. I'm like you, Denise. Open up that book and let all
Open
that
your
stuff
mouth.
out.
Give them that black
Well,
book.
there's another one coming up.
She knows all the dirty details of
Yes,
what
she
happened.
do.
She was
And that's why I was
Epstein's right
that's why
hand
I was
man.
mad. That's why I was so
No,
mad because it's a woman.
yeah,
You sit there and you let him do this to other women.
So
He
Yeah,
did
let
it
me
to
because
her
hold
too.
on, Lisa. Let me translate. You're saying as if Virginia wanted to, she couldn't have stopped this. The real person that could put a dent into this would be Elaine.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Ghislaine. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Now
She's
nobody's
there's
the
going to
another
one.
one
put a
coming
dent
up.
in it. Nobody's going to put a dent in it because most of pedophilia is high, rich white men, and y'all can do the statistic research on that.
She was literally the one recruiting these young ladies. She knew who
Yeah.
was coming. She was organizing these parties. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So she was in the thick of it. And they I to me, in the criminal world, all these powerful men, they did not protect her. So she should open her mouth and she should talk.
This
She
has
should
Do
been
you
going
think
on for a
that?
long time.
But the
How do you
bottom
say,
line is
Gillen? Do you think Ewan's life is in danger?
Sorry, Sherelle.
no.
A business
She's
is supply and demand. So for them to be trafficking these women to high-powered men, that was a demand. So they wasn't just running a couple older men get together on spring summer and have a good time. They were selling minor women, and the demand to get that service, you had
was
to be
high.
of a certain stature to be even get in with Epstein to traffic someone for you. So when you think of the astute men and powerful men in society, what are they? Judges, lawyers,
World leaders.
politicians. So because he wasn't trafficking women for Pookie and Ray Ray.
Let us not say women, say girls. Girls.
I'm sorry, girls.
Young girls.
Children, babies.
They weren't women.
And then
All right.
and then just Lean come in on the emotional side. She goes and scouts out women that are ambitious. You know, some of them was massage therapists. You know, they thought they were living a dream, giving massages on chartered private jets
and
private
islands.
You know what I mean? So we're not just talking about the physical assault of the sexual situation. We're talking
Mental.
about killing somebody's dreams and the whole way they look at the world.
Yeah, there is another case coming soon.
Nygaard.
Thank you guys
Yes,
for
Peter Nygaard. Yes.
Nygaard, yeah.
Sell it that too.
Thank you guys for talking to me.
About that. What is that?
Thank you guys for talking to me and changing my mind. I'm getting ready to go to the other side of the pond and bring up Freddie. Thank you guys so much
Okay.
for calling.
Bye, guys.
me.
Have a great evening.
Thanks, ladies.
Take care,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Sherelle.
Bye.
Thank you, Susie. Again, you did change my mind.
Can I just ask y'all one thing I wanted to bring up to y'all attention? Do you realize Andrew Lawyer was molesting her also? If you watch the interview, she also accused Andrew, the prince's lawyer, of molesting her too.
Now, I'm gonna have to find out about that.
If you watch the interviews, as soon as she accused him, he signed on to be a part of Andrew's defense team, but he couldn't officially be the actual lawyer, so they just made him a part of the team because she put out allegations against his lawyer also.
Can this get any worse?
Yes.
So this is what I'm saying.
Worse?
The layers that she would have to peel back to really get anything besides a check.
Ugh. All right.
Damn.
Thank you, Susie. I really appreciate your call. Thank you, Lisa. You guys, let's go to the other side of the pond. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks, ladies.
Freddie, what is going on
What's up,
over
Freddie?
there? What
Hey,
is
everyone.
going on?
I mean, it is mad, isn't it, what's going on? But I mean, I think what a lot of people have said to me is that in America, you don't get all the information that we're getting over here.
Okay.
So what the Queen did say was she got her representatives to say is that she was not going to be funding any of Andrew's legal expenses. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But representatives of Buckingham Palace have said that they are not paying for those legal fees. Now, Andrew recently did sell his chalet in Verbier, Switzerland for $17 million. Well, sorry, 17 million pounds. Now, I believe he personally used that money to pay off Virginia Giuffre.
So you don't think the Queen had anything to do with paying off Virginia?
No, I personally don't think so, because if it were found out that she did, it would look really bad. And a lot of people, I think, in the UK have been saying, well, you know, they're not happy with Andrew. They haven't been happy with Harry and Meghan and things like that. And a lot of people have been sort of wanting a republic as a result of people like Andrew. So I think that would definitely drive people to wanting a republic even more if it were revealed that the Queen was responsible for helping Andrew with legal fees.
Okay,
Well,
Freddie,
what-
question I got.
what- Sorry, go ahead, Perry.
Oh no, I was going to ask him just in general. Like, do you see him in about 2 years rejoining the family as far as
I
titles and
personally,
things like that?
I find it hard to see how he can. I mean, his interview was an absolute car crash. And the thing is although the sexual assault is the worst thing to come out about him, that's not the only stories that have been coming about him. Is just his whole rude behavior. There's been a lot of talk about how he's done side deals with people in the likes of Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, the Middle East. Allegedly, when he sold a house he had in Windsor that was gifted to him by the Queen that wasn't owned by the Crown, he sold that to some Azerbaijani man and in return, allegedly, got him a Coutts bank account. And you have to have a net worth of at least £1 million to be able to have access to one. I think there are other... that's not the only thing. There are other things that you have to do. But allegedly, Andrew was responsible for getting this guy a Coutts bank account, which is why this house sold supposedly for more than Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson were asking for.
Wow.
He's just a nuisance, isn't he?
He is a nuisance. I mean, I think too much has happened. At the end of the day, Prince Charles is seemingly implying that he wants to be slimming down the monarchy anyway, because we don't really need all these people claiming money off the taxpayer, patting heads and doing sweet FA, if I've really got to be honest. So what I think Charles seemingly wants to do is he just wants him and Camilla as king and queen, and then William and Kate as they will take on the Duke and of Wales and the Wales titles that Prince Charles has.
What is the public consensus over there about the Queen wanting to call Camilla Queen? It was another word, Queen something.
Queen consort, it was.
What do they? How do you guys feel about that?
Well, when it's a king that becomes the king, they are usually called Queen consort. I think the reason that people were not sure and thinking that Camilla might not become a queen consort was down to the fact of the whole Princess Diana scandal that happened years ago.
Right.
Because when Camilla married Charles, they never gave her the Princess of Wales, which was Diana's title. They gave her Duchess of Cornwall instead. So I think people thought not only would they maybe follow what they've done in that regard, but just to not give a queen consort because it might bring up the Diana stuff. But obviously the Queen has made her wishes clear, so that's what's going to happen, really.
Is Prince Andrew still the Queen's favorite?
That's what they're saying in the media over here. I mean, I don't see why. Why would you want an alleged nonce to be your favorite son? I mean,
Freddie!
It just causes embarrassment all the time.
I mean, so she is his favorite. What's her relationship like, really quickly, with Charles? Because I'm not over there. Would she do this for Charles too? Like,
I mean, Charles and Andrew are very different people. They've got very different characters. Charles is always, I think, apart from the whole Princess Diana stuff, I think he has been good, and he sort of stuck to the rules of sort of what should be expected in the royal family. I just don't know if the Queen would do stuff, but I think she's definitely done the right thing in regards of getting Andrew to surrender all titles and not be in the public eye. It's the right thing to do. It doesn't make our country look good. And, you know, allegedly, you know, there are claims that he's a nonce. So why the heck would we, the UK, want this guy representing our country? No, thank you.
So there's rumors that they're going to pretty much keep him in isolation. Do you think that's what's going to happen?
I think that is what's going to happen. It doesn't, I mean, I don't think Andrew's the only one that's sort of been responsible for making making Virginia Roberts sort of do this settlement out of court, because she was very clear a few weeks ago that she wanted to go to trial. She wanted to get justice for other people that had been abused by Epstein and in general had been sexually assaulted. So for me, this seems a complete U-turn. I personally still have believed the allegations. He is a nonce, and he should be ashamed of himself.
Yeah.
He needs to disappear, and he should be locked up in the Tower of London. So yes, I do believe that he will stay out of the public eye, and we'll just see the odd pap shots of him in his Range Rover on the Daily Mail, really.
And so again, just to be very clear, a lot of you guys are shocked by the outcome.
I was really expecting a trial based on what Virginia Roberts said, and based on how hard that these New York courts were going. But I guess this, in my opinion, is an example of where money clearly talks, and that there were not just Andrew, but lots of other powerful people that were threatened. I'm not going to name those names. I think Corey sort of did that already.
I know. Yeah.
But those individuals, I'm sure, maybe had some involvement of maybe paying.
Oh my God,
Virginia off.
Freddie, you are so right. These are powerful men with a lot of money, and they know how to make things happen.
Exactly. I mean,
they don't want to mess up the country club.
Epstein death is still very suspicious to me. Do I think Ghislaine Maxwell's life is in danger? Yes, for sure. Because she's not going to be getting out of jail. There's too much on her. They're not going to let her go. So I do think that maybe something could go down potentially that's not good.
Thank you so much, Freddie, for being our British expert.
You're welcome.
Letting us
British
know
expert, Beverly Hills expert,
yeah.
PK feud
Ronald
expert.
Richards expert. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Love it when you call in. I really appreciate this because I am just so upset, and I do understand what the women are saying. There really wasn't going to be any justice like I want. So
yeah, I agree.
She did what she had to do. Thank you again, Freddie. I appreciate the call. Take care.
You're very welcome. See you all soon.
All right, Freddie.
Bye, Sharrell. Bye, Perry.
Right, take care, bud.
Bye. All right, I'm just going to take this last call because she keeps trying to get in, and then we got to go because I got 3 other videos. Can you hear us now, Leanne?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm running out of time. Sound off really quickly.
Well, the royal family, it's not just Andrew.
Wait, are you from England?
Yeah, I'm English. Well, I'm born here, but I'm not English, obviously.
Okay.
Okay, so the royal family's dirt goes deep, okay? The reason the Queen is supporting her favourite son is because the apple does not fall far from the tree. There is a story, if you check it out, in Canada. Canada has had 3 arrest warrants out for the Queen and her husband because in the 60s, they went over to Canada. They went to visit an orphanage, a convent orphanage. They took out about 20 kids out into the woods. And these are all Inuit kids, I believe, that were in this orphanage. They took them out into the woods. And there are stories that they made them do all kinds of depraved things.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Whoa! Check it out. If you don't believe me, the reason the Queen has dissolved the Canadian Parliament 3 times is because they have a warrant out for her arrest.
What?
Okay?
Wait, whoa! What's happening here? What's happening?
Why
What?
are they calling me now? Anyway, so the story goes...
Oh my God, she froze.
No.
I'm so sorry. The story goes, they went out into the woods. The Queen was wearing gloves and shoes. That she made the kids kiss her shoes. Out of the 20 kids that went to the woods with them, only 10 came back.
What?
The kids that survived, you might think I'm crazy, but I've read the research. I've seen the arrest warrants. The kids that survived and reported on this have all died under suspicious circumstances, one by one. Even Prince Charles, there's stories about him with little boys in Buckingham Palace and them trying to escape. So the royal family are not clean, and they need to off with their heads. Is what needs to happen.
Damn.
See,
Oh my God.
it's true.
Well, I'm glad
So
you
if you don't
said
believe
that.
me, do your
Breathe.
research.
What?
I was gonna say something like that, but I was
can't
wondering,
hear you.
is that going too far by saying maybe he got the personality of his mother? But
Yeah. Well, come
yeah.
on, they're all inbred. They're all inbred. They are. They're all inbred. So what do you expect? It's
Oh my-
disgusting. It really is.
You just
And there
called
was
the royal
protests
family
during lockdown,
inbred.
yeah, with people shouting. They took down the seal off of Buckingham Palace, and they were shouting, "Pedo, pedo, pedo." We all know what's going on, but they're so protected. There's nothing that anyone can do. And let's not forget, this is a massive distraction, because remember the Clintons, all of them are involved in this. So it's better that you look over there at what's going on in the palace and don't look over here while Hillary, who is just as bad, is trying to get back into the White House.
Mm.
I don't know what to
Yeah.
say. This.
I'm starting to worry about your safety here.
Don't worry about me. I'm a fighter. They can't get me.
What a way to go out. Thank you so much, Leanne, for calling in.
You're glad you waited now, aren't you?
Yeah.
I never heard this stuff. I don't know what to say. My
Look
mouth
it
went
up.
closed.
Research it.
Wow. Woo. Well, thank you, Leanne. I appreciate you calling in. Take care.
Thank you. You do a great job, guys. I love you. Well done.
Thank you.
We love you too.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Wow. Now that was
What?
an earful. Listen, I got to wrap it up here, guys. I'm so sorry if I didn't get to your call backstage. I have a whole day's work in front of me. It's only 9-something here. So we've got a long day. But I wanted to thank everyone, especially Susie and Denise and just all the callers calling in, making me see a different perspective. That's what this channel's about. And if you could make, if I like looking at things through other people's eyes, and they most definitely changed my mind. Virginia was not going to put a dent into this world problem, and so she did what she had to do. But still, I feel devastated. I do, and it's just a worldwide problem. Perry, any last words?
Nothing, but I would have took the money too.
Yes, Perry. I can't with Perry, you guys. I married him. I've been with him for 30 years. He has not changed. All right, you guys leave your comments in the comment sections. I'm sorry I couldn't get to everyone. We will be back at our scheduled times later today. On 3, Perry, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye.